I think it was Monday.
Got Tuesday, February 17th, 2026. I'll call the Chickasaw County Board of Supervisors meeting to convene. Roll call, all members are present, along with board secretary Sheila Shackleton. Is there a motion to approve today's agenda as presented?
Second.
Motion by Travis, second by Isaac to approve today's agenda. Matt Eisbrand did call me yesterday, and some of those names on those bank accounts are correct or not correct. He'll come up and present. I don't know what happened, but he called me yesterday and said some of the names are whatever. We'll talk about it when Matt gets up here.
Okay.
So, otherwise, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion is carried. Approve the minutes from February 9th, last Monday. Any changes, corrections?
Make motion to approve the minutes from February 9th.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Steve, second by Scott to approve the minutes from February 9th. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion is carried. Move down to the assessor land use. Good morning, Ray.
Morning.
Resolution 2/1726-13, a minor subdivision for Coon. Go to the last page.
Just about
Anybody?
next to last,
Yeah.
either one.
Let's see if we can both cast.
And I think when I submitted it, the environmental health, Derek had not signed it, but it is signed. He did do it and signed it on Friday.
Okay.
So it looks like it's over there on V18 by North Washington.
It involves two separate assessed parcels. And there you can see there, I've got drawn in, you scroll up just a little bit so you can pull it all in. There you go. They're taking the building site, creating one parcel, and then creating two additional separate farm fields for family members to attain. The building site includes that long lane to the south. So that way, there's access to the backside of those fields as well. And go to the next page, you can see there that part of the building site does have a flood zone involved, however, it does not encroach on any of the buildings.
Yep. Any questions on resolution number 13? If not, is there a motion to approve resolution?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Scott, second by Travis to approve resolution 2/1726-13, approval of a minor subdivision for Coon. Any discussion? If not, roll call. Scott?
Aye.
Travis?
Aye.
Steve?
Aye.
Isaac?
Aye.
Jake, aye. Motion, resolution has been adopted. Thanks, Ray.
Thank you.
I'll get those papers out to you then. Okay.
No, 9:05, any public comment?
No written.
Perfect.
And I'll just make a quick comment.
Yep.
This isn't on the agenda, but just for your information, I did send an email to you folks this morning regarding the live streaming of our Supreme Court hearing tomorrow. Those oral arguments will be live streamed, so you're not in our case. So just want to let you be aware of that.
Just the attorneys going down, or are you going down?
I will be there present as well.
Thank you.
So how far is discussion gonna go today? Can you discuss go out the meeting or not
Discuss what, Jim?
on the ambulance?
That's at 9:15.
9:50?
9:15, so 10 minutes.
Okay. Do we have comments then too?
Yes, anybody that belongs to the 2080.
Okay.
Yep, I will let you. We're in it together.
Well, I've been shut down before.
No, your city is part of the 2088 discussion.
But no, I just want to let you folks know about that. I will be there, so will the officers of our state association and some others from our association.
Sounds good.
So, and we did talk about, I do have a joint memorandum of understanding regarding the cost to this Supreme Court hearing, Supreme Court appeal.
Yep.
So we do have that in process as well for my budget.
Sounds good. Thank you. Let's go down to discuss and approve and authorize chair signature on the memo of understanding, MOU, between Chickasaw County and Teamsters Local Union Number 238 Sheriff's Office Bargaining Unit. So on February 2nd, we discussed that to be sent off to Mike and his team. Jeff, the attorney I worked with, he prepared it, sent it off to the union rep to sign off. I think I got it back Friday. Did you send that out in the board packet?
I do, didn't I?
I don't believe so, just because it came in late.
I'll go get copies then.
Yep, that'll work. Jeff, and Mike was carbon copied on all these emails too, just so he knew what was going on for our future bargaining unit in the future. Jeff wants the copy back, so then he will give a copy to the union rep if we approve the MOU today. It does say in the MOU, you guys can see it, about the fourth paragraph, if the duties of civil clerk gets removed from individual, she will lose the dollar pay. It goes back to the lead dispatcher salary. She does not lose her longevity of the longevity is also in there. So you guys can see 3A, 3B, and 3C.
I didn't have
So you guys can see Jeannie Austin did sign it on February 12th, and now it's up to us if we move forward. This is not opening up the contract. This will be added to the last pages of the union contract as an MOU between Chickasaw County and the Teamsters Local Union 238. I believe that's what we had a consensus was, to move forward to the HR representing the county.
I did.
No, the $150 is what's already in the union contract. The dollar is on 3B.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
So our new rate will be $30.47 to be her base. Is there a motion to approve the MOU and authorize chair signature?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Steve, second by Isaac, to approve the MOU between Chickasaw County and the Teamsters Local Union 238 regarding Kathy Knudsen. If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion is carried. So yeah, I'll sign that and then we need to send it back to Jeff and Mike. And then we'll keep a copy behind the union.
Right,
Acknowledge the hiring of Julie Shackleton for the public health part-time RN position starting March 9th, 2026 at the rate of $29.61. I visited with Lisa on Friday. The Board of Health did approve this. We just acknowledge it. I didn't think Lisa needed to be here, so that's why she's not here, but confirm it did get passed at the Board of Health meeting on Friday. Part-time, so no health insurance or any other normal county part-time staff.
Make a motion to acknowledge the hiring of Julie Shackleton for the public health part-time RN positions starting March 9th, 2026 at $29.61 per hour.
and that's effective.
March 9th.
Yeah.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Steve, second by Isaac to acknowledge the hiring of Julie Shackleton for March 9th, $29.61 per hour. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye, anybody opposed? Motion is carried. Let's see. Which one?
Committee assignments.
We could try to do one or two if anybody has a committee assignment. Travis, go take 2 minutes for this one. Go ahead, Travis.
IDHCP, well, Thursday and Friday, I'll make it quick. Basically, we approved the 2.91, which ours ended up not being that. It's like 2 point,
So 2.91 was the whole pool?
was the whole pool, yeah, but a 2.56, I think, or 5.2. You guys can look at this, but.
Yeah.
Elected chair, vice chair, secretary, treasurer, all the committees, we approved the consulting agreement, which nothing changed in it. And then there was a bunch of Walmart updates and EDS updates.
Denise is gonna reach out to counties.
Yep.
To schedule in-person meeting with us this week sometime. Any new members join?
Yeah, there's, the guy that sticks out of Waterloo Waterworks,
Okay.
there's just over 5,000 members in the, or
People that take.
people that take health insurance. There's 55 groups in the, it's all in the back here, if anybody wants to see it. Cities, schools, counties.
They're getting up there.
So Travis, can I see that when you're done with it?
Yeah, that book
Yeah,
stays here.
Okay.
Maybe we should take some of the 2014 and on out of there.
Yep.
And just keep 26.
Good.
And then Denise will be coming up in the next couple of weeks. Good?
Yep.
Any questions for Scott? Or sorry, Travis?
No.
Scott, you have any?
At FMC landfill meeting, last Thursday night. Let's see here. We, discussed the financials, approved for the previous month. We had a discussion on one of our Rangers, Polaris Rangers that we use at the landfill. The engine had blown up. We discussed repairing it or trading it. We decided to go ahead and repair it for approximately about $8,000. We decided to purchase a new repeater and duplexer for the radio system up there that wasn't working anymore. And approved the service agreement for the track loader. That was pretty much all we had. It was a very short meeting. I think it was 16 minutes long.
Any questions about the landfill? If not, we'll go back to the agenda to go to the 9:15 scheduled appointment, EMS Director Joel Knutson. Good morning, Joel.
Morning.
You want to discuss the RFP or the department update?
I really don't have much for department update. Thanks for putting that on there. The only thing that I can think of is at some point, we probably should schedule my review. Yeah, just get that on the agenda at some point.
So yeah, up on the screen is the letter that Joel prepared for us to look at today. And then you guys also got a copy of the RFP that was prepared by Joel. Just so the public knows, we talked about this in budget work session about a month ago. And when we had some in-depth discussion about asking for payment or not for payment from the cities, Joel presented this to me and Scott about a week and a half ago. It is on today's agenda, so go ahead, Scott, Joel.
Yeah, so in our talks over the last, few months and truthfully over the last year or better, at what point do we replace an ambulance? At the urging of the board, we started this process. The lead time on ambulance is about 2 years. So getting the process started so that we can have one in kind of a timely fashion is pretty important. Sitting right now with the 3 vehicles that we've got, current miles as of today, Medic 1's at 58,800, Medic 2's at 46,200, and Medic 3, the one we would look at replacing, is at 54,400. As you guys recall, the Medic 3 came in August or September, the year after we formed the ambulance. And then for about the last year, it's been the primary truck for transfers. So we've been focusing, putting all the miles on that one, knowing that that would be the first truck to go. It is the oddball of the fleet, so to speak. It's the Chevy chassis with a box that's been remounted. And it's just going to come to its useful end of life before the other 2 trucks will. Going through, we set the RFP up very similar to the RFP that we had when we started this process and at the start of the ambulance service. Set the design and layout very similar to how the current trucks are set, which is kind of the standard for most ambulances that are manufactured. Nothing out of the ordinary or extra in it. And your input or the input from the cities, how we proceed with this. If you have any questions on the cover letter for the RFP or the RFP in and of itself, I would take them.
Yeah, so early Friday, I talked to Joe, I think it was, to invite the 6 cities. Thanks, Jim, for coming from Bassett. So the 6 cities were notified of this meeting today at 9:15. They were all more than welcome to attend because indeed it's their money too. Does any board member have an issue with, I think, the 76-page RFP or the cover letter?
It is pretty extensive, but it kind of has to be because if you send it out to multiple manufacturers, they could eliminate some of the things out of it that truthfully need to be there, but it also does include all of the CAS requirements that it is required to have in an ambulance. So.
It's like, Dave, have you reviewed the RFP?
Well, I don't know anything about ambulances, the technical part, so that's foreign language to me, but trust Joel and his staff, put what's in there. To me, the turnaround time seems a little quick. I would give them more than probably 3 weeks to get it done. I don't know how many we're sending it to or how quickly they anticipate getting a response back to you.
Yeah, so we talked about that a little bit, the turnaround time, seeing that this is a pretty boilerplate standard ambulance. Most agencies that build ambulances, they all have the same rubric to follow, so to speak. The other reason we wanted to get this, if we're going to move forward with this process, is with the lead time, getting it done by a certain time. 2 weeks, I think, is from talking to different vendors at trade shows, that's more than enough time to get it put back, or, to get it submitted to us. The question is, how do we advertise it sufficiently, putting it on the county website, putting it on our social media. I guess beyond that, I guess I would take direction on how we advertise this.
How many Midwest, part of the United States vendors out there that make them?
I would say there are probably, there's probably three pretty reputable vendors within the Midwest.
So a little bit more about the cover letter, just so everybody's upfront. The date was put it in there just for reference of March 9th, due no later than 9 o'clock in the morning to the auditor's office. We would then open up the sealed RFPs, and then we would probably take a little recess if we don't go past noon on Monday. That gives time for Joel and his staff to review the RFPs and then come back to us at like 1 o'clock, Monday, the 9th of March, to accept an RFP if we see fit.
So it's already a done deal, you already decided to buy one. Why am I even here?
No,
Now, I wanna ask you, are we cash plus? Are you making money at the ambulance, or is it you on the whole?
No.
Because when I have to buy a tractor, I gotta make sure I got income to pay for it. Now, that's where we're looking at. You got income to pay for this thing, or we're gonna keep going back in the hole? Something's gotta change. I know at one time you said you'd adjust the schedule so you wouldn't have as many people on staff 24/7. They'd be on call, and you could save quite a bit. Have you done that? No, you hired another guy for higher rate pay.
Can I talk, Jim?
No,
I'm not
yeah,
I'm on a
gonna
roll.
sit here and yell at me.
I'm on a roll.
I'm gonna tell you right now, in the EMS business, the insurance companies have made it so that making a ton of money in the ambulance business is not possible. Now, if you wanna fight that out with Blue Cross Blue Shield, you wanna fight that out with CMS, you're more than welcome to. But I'm telling you right now, we are running this department as efficiently as we possibly can and still providing service to our county.
You still go off-site for billing,
We still go off-site for billing.
so you're giving out 20% right
7%.
Huh?
7%.
of gross.
7% of what we collect. There is no way, I've talked to probably 30 different directors, there is no way.
Because at one time, I had a person lined up to do the billing on a part-time basis, and come in 4 or 5 hours every week and do it. It'd be a lot less than having that 20%.
I respectfully disagree.
Well,
There's
that's
no
what she did. The person I had did the billing for Mayo Clinic, so she had to know what she was doing. It wasn't somebody off the street.
Yeah.
So, since things, through the years, you've only been here a couple of years, I've been here
I've been in
So
EMS for 25 years.
well, I've been mayor since I was 20 years old, I'm 73 now.
all right, going back to this.
So, I
All right.
kinda know this stuff.
Yep, no, that's fine. Just going back to the RFP. So can you explain a little bit, Joel, about the chassis? You're gonna go out for a state bid.
We are, so with the chassis, so there's 2 ways it can go. The vendor can supply you a chassis, or you can purchase your own chassis. With any of the EMS ambulance vendors, they will supply the chassis, however, none of them are governmental organizations. So by us purchasing our own chassis, we get the state bid price, which equates to maybe up to almost $15,000 that we can save right off the top with that.
So what he told us, and I'll explain it again, he's gonna go out for a state bid for a specific Dodge, correct?
Correct.
A Dodge chassis, I believe it's a 4x4 chassis.
It is.
We can discuss 4x4, 2x4, whatever we want. The other 2 fleets are two-wheel drive.
So the current 3 ambulances are van style chassis. This will be a truck style chassis.
Correct.
It does make sense to have something with 4-wheel drive in our county. For the harder to reach areas, for the poorer road conditions when they present.
Any discussion on that, just so you guys are all aware of what he's going out for? Then warranty work will be done locally, or who would take care of the warranty work on a chassis?
That'll all be done locally through, our closest Ram dealer is Vermauer's.
Okay.
Yeah. They are able to get the same state bid pricing that anywhere else is. They handle the warranty work and the service can be done there as well if we choose.
The third thing on the RFP then is you're gonna keep the Skylar Power Load and Power Pro X.
Yeah, so when we, initially priced that, a new power load, with new cot is about $80,000. We're able to save that with ours. The trade-in that they were going to give us on ours would be pretty low. So we'll be able to move that from one truck to the other. We'll be able to move the radios from one truck to the other. All of the equipment inside will go from one to the other. So that in and of itself is a pretty huge cost savings.
To just buy another shell.
Basically, yeah,
So you're,
the
that's
chassis.
stuff that, lift and air work transfer to.
Yep. And you'll see, on the face sheet, I did say, customer will supply the Striker Power Load and the Power Pro XD cot. Module must be compatible and outfitted to accept this system. So that means that they have to run the wiring for the charging system for that.
So all the expense you got for there to change the mattress occasionally, you'll get.
Yeah, and that, I mean, pretty.
Eventually it's gotta wear out, and that's what's expendable.
Correct, yeah.
If the RFP comes in on March 9th and say X vendor gets it, would you use Medic 3 then a lot more to get more miles, or are they
Yeah.
gonna reflect that on the trade-in value?
So, from what I've been told from one of the vendors I spoke with, when they give you a trade price, that is your trade price up until the day that it leaves.
Okay.
Provided you don't.
Damage, yeah, I guess. I'm just saying they don't restrict the mileage gain
Correct.
on the,
Yeah.
on the trade.
That's one vendor I spoke with. I gotta believe they're all the same way, but I don't know that for certain.
So there's no reference to the trade in here.
In the RFP,
In the RFP itself.
in the RFP itself, I believe it was towards the end, but I can double check.
Just so people are watching, it is a 76-page RFP, right?
It is.
So, a lot of questions will be answered, and that's what Joel needs time to make sure all the Ys are checked.
You may want to just put another sentence in here on the cover page to highlight that must be treated.
So that, I guess that's a
I guess that's
question.
more of a, not a technical specification.
How would you word that price to reflect trade-in value of?
Well, are they all gonna want to trade it in, or do you wanna do that separately from your RFP? Do you wanna not have that as part of it? I mean, you wanna buy it outright and not consider the trade-in value? I mean, the issue's gonna become if vendor A gives you a price of X, plus whatever the trade-in, vendor B gives you a price of Y, which is the trade-in, and, you know, you're getting way more to trade from one than the others. You know, do you wanna go with the higher price because they're giving you more trade-in value? That's gonna change the value of the whole deal, in my opinion. So maybe you wanna do that separately, I don't know. That's up to you guys.
Okay, right.
Yeah, go ahead, Jim.
What he's trading is not your secondhand car out here. So he's taking our unit in, and they're taking the equipment out of that and putting it in the other one. So it's really, I don't know how you sell it outright otherwise.
I don't know, I'm not in that business, I'm just saying, it
out
needs to
there,
be
but I mean,
clear.
that's something that,
It needs to be clear how we're doing it, that's what I'm saying. I don't really care, it just needs to be clear.
and that'd be something to consider.
I think just to keep it even, I think, you're right with a sentence saying price to include trade-in of 2023 Lifeline ambulance with, at time of RFP, X amount of miles on it.
Right, yeah, maybe throw a VIN number in there so they have.
And I would make sure that the trading value is gonna remain the same, despite it might be 18 months or 2 years till we get the ambulance. And if we put another 75,000 miles on it,
Right.
in the next 18 months, I don't want them coming back and saying, well, it was worth X 18 months ago, now it's only worth half of X. And that needs to be clear in there as well somewhere.
Do you want to craft the verbiage for that, or would you like me to? And you approve it?
You're just gonna put that on the cover sheet.
Just on the cover
Yeah, I think it
with
should
the
be-
customer supply
Aside
chassis?
from the technical specifications and that.
That makes sense.
Would you have to put details that the cop won't be in it and
Yeah,
to make sure they all know that
Yep.
we're taking out that
Yep.
$60,000-$70,000 piece of equipment?
Yep.
Just so they all did the same.
So are we, is there a reason we're not, because the other two ambulances are a Ford?
Correct.
Is there a reason we're going with that?
Yeah, one of many reasons, but, cabin room in the Ram chassis versus the Ford chassis, availability, price has a lot to do with it as well. And then, serviceability. So the Fords now, we have to, any warranty work has to go over to Charles City. We have to have an employee drive it over and either wait with it or drive it, somebody pick them up. Being able to do it locally in town here is, I think, worth a lot for time wise. And the 6.7 Cummins that they put in these chassis are pretty reliable. They've been on the market for quite a few years.
So that's a diesel one.
Correct. Yep. If there's any red flags should have probably presented themselves by now for as long as that motor's been on the market. We did look at a gas engine in the Ram. A little bit more unknown with that. So that's why we elected to go with that chassis, taking a little bit of guidance from the people who sell these for a living.
Are the Ford, are they gas?
Our current ones,
Yeah.
gas.
What's standard here, Joel, for payment terms? Is there a down payment on this? And if so, how much? And we need to clarify that, or is that understood?
I guess, that can be up to each. There is no standard on required money at signing. I know with one vendor, they, if you pay 25%, they take 5,000 off, but that's not standard amongst all vendors.
So
So
do we want that to be standardized in our bid, or do you guys want that, or?
Most
What is
bids-
What they're doing.
most bids will stipulate that. Some may say 25% due with no discount. Some may say 25% due with a 5,000 discount, however that is. But I think that's something that each vendor will submit on their own.
I don't wanna go into too many details, cause I believe you have an estimate out there.
We got a ballpark here.
Yeah, so please be wide, cause we need an estimate. So what would 25% look like? Or give me the estimate, I can figure the 25%.
100,000.
No, 25% will be about 70,000 roughly,
Fair enough.
roughly.
So do you have that in your current budget, or do you need a budget amendment to cover that?
There's 50,000 in equipment that we would have in there, depending on what we come with a firm number. The other thing that I talked to a few of you about, the chassis in and of itself, model 27 or 28, there's no point in purchasing a chassis before they're ready to build. Most vendors are about 180-day turnaround from the time they start till the time they finish. So waiting as long as we can to purchase the chassis benefits us because of warranty. Warranty starts from when you do delivery. So with that being said, it may be a model year 28, but those, when we would go purchase that chassis, won't be until the next budget cycle. Current budget year, if we had to, we could use the 50 that's in the equipment, but I think we would still be short, possibly needing a budget amendment.
So to recap, I think the issue is the people that build these things. He gave us enough time to talk about this. We, in my opinion, we knew about this about a month and a half ago. Didn't know the turnaround was 18 months to 2 years. We did request the cities to pay 1/4 of a quarter payment due by April 5th for, I think, that reason. And I guess the business side of it, Joel, will just float along until we have to trigger another payment. We did tell the cities to make room in their budgets for one full payment for next fiscal year. Might need it, might not, might need some, might need all, don't know.
So 4 quarters next year.
No.
1/4.
1/4.
Okay, because you're talking different languages here all the time.
One full quarter payment is
So what's the one
requested.
in April?
That is 1/4 of a quarter payment.
Okay, so we only owe $250.
That's it.
Okay, because I thought it was 1,000, so that really,
Nope, whatever was sent out to
Yeah.
you,
just explain this.
quarter payment. Go ahead, Jim.
We cannot draw 810 this year because evaluations went up and state said we can only go 2%. So our budget can only go up 2%. So instead of 810, we're at 7.96 or something like that per thousand valuation.
Levy.
We only have less than $1 million valuation basket. So we only collect $7,900. Okay? And we're already paying $4,000 to take a full year to handle it. See where I'm coming at? We gotta cut expenses someplace or we're gonna go bankrupt.
Yeah, we're not
Yeah.
asking for full payment at all.
Well, I'm just saying, it could go to that and keep on, you know?
I get trying to be
So
efficient.
now,
And
this is
Joel,
something
I
I'm
think, is
gonna
doing a good job.
interject now, it's for you to think about.
Yep,
Since ambulances housed in New Hampton, which is New Hampton School District, then take the money off the wind turbines to pay for the ambulance and have it countywide, include Nashville and Isla Vista in with it, and we throw away the 28E.
I'd have to talk to the bond attorney, but I don't know if any ambulance service is economic development. That's what the urban renewal plan is all around.
But it benefits every person in the county.
And I get that. But we'd have to talk to the bond council to see if urban renewal plan can be funding that.
If it makes any difference to you, you know, I do have 240 acres outside the city limits that I pay tax on. So that kind of gives me a double vote there. Continue.
No, I'm just trying to, I don't even want to start the fight, but you know, my question to you then, Jim, and I thank you to be here, but when we have to pay the bill for in another department, 100% out of GS, but when you guys have skin in the game, you don't like buying things, right?
Try that again?
I'm not gonna throw the agency out there, but there's an agency that you serve on as a city. It's called EMA,
Yeah.
but it seems like the cities always want to throw that price tag back onto the county. But in this instance, we are in a 2080, and I thank you for that. But when it's your money, we have issues with it. Right? You see the difference?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you have a lot bigger tax base. You wanna know what your tax base is that I don't have?
That's the issue, that we do have the tax base,
Yeah.
and I'm sorry for that.
From Vernon Hours all the way north is all county, including 5-star. All 5-star taxes go to the borough. They don't come to the city of New Hampton.
No,
So they have to find that money someplace else. You got 2 lumber yards outside. City limits. Wayne's is out, Truck Wash is out. Wind turbine office, I think that's out too. That's a new building.
yep,
Yeah.
we don't decide the city incorporation boundaries,
And Chickasaw, all his buildings are outside.
not all of them.
Well, most of them are, according to the last book I looked at. Dale Rice has got a city up there. That's all outside.
It is.
Ethanol plants outside. So see what I mean? You got a lot of tax base out there that we don't have the option to get at.
Exactly.
Now, if I get the new grocery store there, might be a difference. We'll have a little more, but
No, I brought up all these
it's
concerns.
just hard, you know? $1,200 to fix a tire on a town tractor. That really cut into things.
All right, anything out the RFP? You guys see the timeline, you wanna adjust that? If any Dave will work with Joel on a language in the letterhead.
Are you guys agreeable to approve it today with the changes that Dave proposes?
If we have the motion, if we have the votes.
I guess wanting to know if I need to bring it back again once it's changed.
So are you guys okay with the almost 3-week turnaround? Do you want to go another week? And the main purpose, Joel, help us out, is to get our name on a lineup for a
On
truck.
a bill number.
On a bill
right?
number.
Yeah. So the way most of these places work, it's you get your name on a bill number, and depending on how things progress, I mean, some vendors issue build numbers to demo units that they're gonna take to trade shows and so on and so forth. So your build number can progress up in the stack if they bump like one of the demos off. And that most likely to fit into the time frame that we're looking at would probably require that to happen. But yeah, just getting your name on something is the biggest.
But you almost have to wait for his final version, don't you? The revised one before
I think
you
Yeah,
have
we
it
can
out
get
there?
it done probably this afternoon. I mean, to be safe, if you wanna bump it a week to the 16th, it's not, I don't think it's gonna kill the project, but, I don't envision it taking more than today and tomorrow between Joel and I to get it finalized. Let's put it that way.
And the verbiage is just gonna be, the old one's going with you, don't depreciate us for mileage X.
Just make sure we're crossing our Ts and dotting our Is and everyone's on the same page.
Yeah, I think moving it a week to the 16th would be.
So they'll be able to put a firm price on the body, but probably not the chassis.
So the ambulance manufacturer, whether it be A, B, or C, won't even reference a chassis price. It'll just be the module. They'll have some wordage in there, you know, hooking it up to the chassis, running power from the chassis to the power load system, that kind of stuff. But that'll be the only reference that they have to the chassis.
So all that'll be in the purchase agreement, I take it, correct?
What's that?
All that'll be in the purchase agreement, I take it,
Correct.
all those details.
So you need to specify name of this lift unit?
Yeah, it's in here, the power load, Power Pro, XD, the
Striker over.
Striker, yeah.
I think you need to put striker in there too, so that everybody knows what that power load is.
Right, yeah.
It's on there.
If, the 4-wheel drive chassis, would the chassis be the same to go to a 2-wheel drive? And would that still be a pickup chassis?
Yeah, you could get a truck chassis too, right?
Well, I was just wondering if you don't add that in there too.
Price wise, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Nothing different, there would be nothing different concerning the ambulance manufacturer, whether they're putting their chassis or whether they're putting their module on a 2-wheel drive versus a 4-wheel drive. That all is the same.
So if you get a 4-wheel drive, will you save mileage on that and kind of keep it in reserve, put more mileage on it?
Yeah,
If you don't need it, you wouldn't run it.
correct. Yeah, the goal has always been, you know, when we identify a truck to be the next one to go, that then becomes our primary transfer truck, and we do all of our long distance transfers with that, Mason City, Iowa City, wherever. In hope of putting the most miles on that vehicle to then get it to the finish line.
So now the other question is, you got a pickup on the farm, right? Is it 4-wheel drive? Okay. The newer ones, I've heard, don't drive on 4 wheels. You only have 2 wheels to drive, you get hung up a little bit, and there you sat. So is that one gonna have a positive rear end under, plus your 4-wheel drive? Something to think about if you put it in there, you know?
Yeah,
Somebody had 2 wheels, the front rear wheels off, and the back wheels all hung up, and they couldn't go because there was no positive traction in the rear drive, so.
So just so I'm clear, just so the public's clear, so what they would be voting on today would be the outfitting and basically the box. They can decide on the chassis and make that decision and vote upon that later. Is that what you're saying? Okay, I want to make sure everyone's on the same page here.
yeah. The only thing that we're committed to with this RFP is that it will be a truck chassis.
Okay.
Whether it is a two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive makes no difference. It's still a 5,500 truck chassis.
So with a couple changes that we've discussed and the date, is there an entertaining motion for anything or?
One more comment, can we reduce that 750 a little bit and use it towards this purchase then let it build back up?
What's the 750 on loss?
Yeah, the minimum 750 on your fund.
Oh, we've waived payments, what, 8 times now because it fell under the 750, so I think the current board you have, I don't think, in my opinion today, you guys can speak about it, but we're not at that 750 at this current time. It's in the 2080, yes. I think when we rewrite the 2080, that number might adjust. But
Well, I'd say just put an amendment in to pay for this part of this new ambulance, so we don't have to pay the whole thing in 1 year. See what I'm saying?
And I get that,
Yeah.
and we're, that's why we only asked for a quarter payment.
I'm not following, but that's okay.
He wants to amend the 2080 from the 750 threshold to a new number of 500,000.
So part of that could be used to purchase the new ambulance and not put the burden on the county and us all in one time. But,
It's all gonna be paid out of there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all.
Or you're not gonna pay it out of anywhere else, to my knowledge.
well, I know,
We're asking for a special
Okay.
assessment, or anything's coming out of that account, right?
if he pays it down to 500,000 for the ambulance, they could call to get it returned in 1 year's time. And that's hard to,
What I'm saying is we're not doing that.
well, you're not gonna get, this is out 2 years, you're gonna be sitting there in 2 years,
I
and
will
the
be.
board's gonna say
You
no.
guys are lucky to have me for another 3.5 years.
And honestly, full transparency, my goal,
2.5.
once we have a rendered drawing of this ambulance, my goal is to, pay for it with donated funds. Like nothing would make me happier than to come in here and say, let's take and move all of this out of the donated funds and pay for this ambulance. It would tickle me, but we'll see. And we're working towards it. Fundraisers have been good to us, so we'll keep going down that road. And then once we have a rendered drawing that we can actually show businesses what we're purchasing, that's when we really kick it in. So that would be the goal eventually.
My only donation would be hauling off. It gets closer after all
So
these meetings.
since the two numbers got brought up today, the donation fund is at $32,854, and the pool cash of EMS this morning was $557,000. So that's the current funds EMS is operating under. With, I know some cities are paying their payment
Right,
earlier than April 5th.
but not the county.
No, the county's, any motion, you guys got it all? You have any more questions, concerns? Good discussion. You guys wanna pass something with the attorney's guidance of adding 1 or 2 sentences about the trade-in and make sure people understand that the supply power lift will be taken out, which is on there already. And then the date. You guys wanna leave it to March 9th, Monday morning at 9? Or you wanna move it another week? It's about 2.5 weeks.
And then maybe in the motion as well, just some guidance on where you would like it advertised.
We can go into discussion on that. I mean, there's really nobody local except for our neighbors to Bremer County that supplies them, makes them, builds them. The other ones are pretty much out of state.
Yeah, social media has a ton of power, honestly. So if we put it on our Facebook page,
Yep.
that we're seeking RFPs for.
And the county website.
Correct. There are a lot of ambulance manufacturers watch and follow ambulance services on social media. So I think we'll reach quite a few just with those 2 avenues if the board is acceptable of that.
I think if you've got at least a couple of contracts, I'd hate to go out for this and only get one bid and then we're,
I can, without selling the secret, I can promise you there'll be at least 2 because I've had 2 vendors reach out. So.
So just a question to you, would actually be interested in their trading unit. But
I doubt it, we just got a different ambulance a year and a half ago. I assume we're gonna put the RFP on the website so they can download it.
Yeah, download a
Yes.
copy.
With the 2.5 weeks, it quite possibly take that long to mail this.
It is expensive, but
I would do 16.
yeah, I agree with 16.
I generally lean that way, I don't think 2.5 weeks is quite long enough.
No, I would move it to the 16 as well.
Consensus and then a vote, and motion, I mean,
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
is there a second?
Okay. So the, motion's gonna be,
Moving the due date to March 16th at 9 AM to your office. I believe Isaac, the motion is also letting the county attorney add 1 or 2 sentences about what we discussed,
about the outfitting box, the
the
truck
outfitting and the
chassis,
tree.
and advertising.
Any guidance on advertising, county website?
County website, I think Facebook, I agree, social media is a great platform, so.
The moving date's gonna be March 16th.
And we'll have the downloadable PDF attached to our website as well as our social media accounts.
I just want to thank Joel. I mean, we've talked about this. He's took some time to get this RFP to us. And like I said, we've had good discussion this morning. So motion by Isaac, second by Steve, to go out for this RFP. Do you have anything on there that says county may reject? Oh, you got it on there. Perfect. Second paragraph. It's on there. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you, Joe.
Just let me know when you want to put me on the agenda for.
Yes, I got that on my little note here.
You send me this email. Yeah, never got to know.
so you know, we're gonna take county covers basic law enforcement free of charge to all the cities.
Okay. I will take that in consideration.
Okay. Thank you. I just found that out a couple weeks ago.
Well, let's see here. We have 6 minutes.
Good luck, guys.
You too.
See you Wednesday.
We'll probably go back and forth on the budget amendment, just because I think we need to hear from Dave Gorman about the lawnmower a little bit more. But Sheila, do you have the budget amendment we can just discuss for like a couple minutes?
Sure. Can I go on screen?
I don't, no, I'm up there now, so let me get out of here. So now you should go back to cast and see what it is.
So far.
There you go. So one additional one that I can speak about is Chad Humple approached us Thursday, I think. He thinks he can get some of these tree outfitters in this fiscal year. So he would like to add to the 100,000 that he wants for next fiscal year. So like that line 3 where it says forest resistance grant, he would like to spend 30,000 out of this year's budget and then get the 30,000 back in a grant.
So what, everything else stayed the same for, and I put it under secondary roads, but it's actually just under TIF, that we're increasing the expenditure to 3 million for B22. We're doing the vehicle, we have the motor vehicle for the sheriff. We have conservation again. We're gonna include the revenue for the forest resilience grant, but we also have the expenditure because he doesn't get the revenue unless he spends it. The
Can I add
expense,
something there quick?
Yeah.
So then I asked him about the 100,000 for next fiscal year. He doesn't want us to adjust that one due to not getting the 30,000 expense this year. He is fully aware if we did leave the 100,000 in there for next fiscal year, that he would have the authority to spend it on other line items. But we use the word trust, we use the word, is Chad, do we trust him then to keep the 100,000 in for next fiscal year if he indeed uses the 30,000 this current year? So just to be transparent to you guys all, you guys can discuss that in future budget work session, but he doesn't think this project will be over the 100,000 total. Could we do a budget amendment in next fiscal year to take out the 30,000 if indeed he gets it this year? That's an option. But just trying to be transparent with the county conservation director. Go ahead.
Okay, so then we also put in the motor vehicle repairs for the conservation, which was 7,000. 11,000 for the heat pump for the building, for the conservation, and then 50,000 for the new motor vehicle for conservation. Secondary road, we took out the agriculture, horticulture, 110,000 from secondary roads because we knew we weren't gonna be giving it to him. General services, we have a lawnmower here for 30,000, that for, general services, if you guys decide to do that, and then we go to our revenues. Again, the 30,000 is the forest resilience grant, you have to have revenue and expenditure to match. Rural service basics, I went and took out for this budget, because you guys just asked for the April 5th payment. The next, if you guys were to ask for another payment, it couldn't be till July 5th anyways. So I took out the revenues that we had anticipated receiving from the cities, because we are not going to be getting those now. And that came up to 507,000 out of the EMS. And I had cleared that with Joe before I did it. And then I included the revenue from the bond, if we receive it, of $3 million. So this is what we have on the budget amendment. Hopefully I got the big one here. Oh, I didn't put it on here. Let's see. Maybe this is it.
The worksheet from Dylan?
Yeah, you got
I
it.
do have it, and it was emailed to us, so.
So you guys had received the worksheet from Joe, and it has all the items on here, so.
So again, the motion then would be just to publish this in the New Hampton Tribune on Thursday, the Nashua on Friday. Public hearing would be set then for March 2nd. On the bottom, it gives all the explanations of change of line items. Sheila explained them well. I went through the line items. I guess, where were we? I think Scott reached out to me about the law enforcement car. I think there was a consensus not to budget for it and use his ending fund balance to pay for it. If that was the case, then we should take it out. Was that the case? Am I asking again?
That was my, I thought it was, I think that was a consensus.
Okay, not using in the budget?
So take the car out of the budget amendment. What about the 30,000? You guys do have the bids in front of you for the 3 vendors for the lawnmower. Just leave 30,000 in there, so I guess, when does Bob need this? Sometime this morning?
He needs it by noon.
By noon.
I tried to anyways. What? What?
As long as, when you guys get done, you can send me, I'm just texting them right now that it's coming.
Okay, thank you.
So we'll take out the car. Is there any other changes in the budget amendment? Or do you want to hear from Dave's presentation first? I know a little bit. There's a 2-wheel drive John Deere, there's a 4x4 John Deere, and there's a one from Ziegler and one from Midco. Ranging anywhere from 22 to 34,000. Again, there is enough money in 51 general services, but this would make a clean entry of 51 department paying for a new lawnmower. And we can go back to it too. I think opening these bids won't take that long.
You want to just go back?
Yeah, we'll go back to it. We'll get Dave up here. I'll text him now.
I just seen water.
Move ahead with 10:01 here. Meet with engineer Roman Lansing. Good morning, Roman.
Before we get started, I think you guys have to sign in.
That was like 3 weeks. 2 weeks. 1 second. So at 10 o'clock, Roman, you had sealed bids to be delivered to your office, I believe, for open sealed bids for HMIA resurfacing project LFM 122-7X19 on B22 from Wilson Street East, approximately 5.9 miles to US Highway 63 with possible action.
Bids were in the auditor's office, just clear.
Perfect. Do you want to open them or you want me to?
You can go ahead.
So we got 2 of them here, one from Heartland and Matty.
Yep, each would have a certified check or a bid bond attached to it, which I can check that afterwards.
Heartland Asphalt Inc. out of Mason City. You guys all know what this project is. It's gonna be using TIF money. So Heartland is, I believe, looks like the total bid is $1,675,668.184. I don't know. So that's Heartland, and then Matty Construction out of Wisconsin. This is a local letting because we're using TIF dollars to pay for it. Their total bid is $1,633,304.
It's very competitive.
Very competitive, about what, 32,000?
40,000. So based on those bids, and I will check them over, I would recommend that we award it to the low bidder, which would be Matthew. That, just for reference, my estimate was $1,957,740.79. And that brings the low bidder to 83.4% of that estimate. So I thank both of them for very competitive bids. I guess I recommend to award. And I'd work on the contract, get it sent out by the end of the week. And then we get it on the agenda for probably not next Monday, but the following Monday.
Yeah, we can go into details, but me and Roman were working with Jason Conisty and Travis Squires last week to get us the pre-levy tax resolution, hopefully next Monday. So
it'd probably be the week after next Monday that we'd sign this contract if awarded. And that puts us, mobilization payment will need to be done 30 days within the sign of contract, which, we need the contractors first, then ours. So that puts us on 30 days. So we're looking at around April 1st for a mobilization payment due date. And that falls right in line with when we'd have funds from the loan.
Correct.
Bond.
And both Travis and Jason agreed that that timeline is right on schedule for the bank loan and the TIF bond to be sold. Any questions? Another project, kudos to Roman, thank you for this one. This was put in to use TIF money to show to the people that the wind turbine project indeed is given back to the county for projects like this. This is no local funds, this is all from the wind turbines. So
hopefully many more to come if the state doesn't do something silly.
Is there a motion to award low bid?
Moved.
Second.
You wanna review it, Roman, or are you good with it?
Well, if I review it and something comes up, I'll just come back with you. It'd take more than a few minutes, so.
Motion by Steve, second by Travis to award the low bid to, is it Massey or Matty?
Matthew.
Construction Company, in the amount of $1,633,304, low bid. For the resurfacing project on B-22. Any discussion? Roll call, Steve?
Aye.
Travis?
Aye.
Isaac?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Jake, aye, motion is carried 5-0. Thank you guys for bidding.
Yes, thank you very much.
Review quotes for a tandem axle belly dump trailer with possible action.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
So I got 3 quotes. Sam worked pretty hard on this in collaboration with road foreman Tyler Bronson as well, and some of the other guys. We got 2 options from Crossroads Trailer and then 1 option from Manic. All are 40-foot belly dumps, small variations in attachments and all that. So the low bid was $43,000. The next low bid was 43. Well, I should back up. 43,000 is the low bid, and it's also the one that Sam recommended. And it's also the one that we might see by the end of February or March if we order now. I doubt February, but it said February to March estimated in our hands. CTS is the other option from Crossroads Trailer. That'd be $43,450. We'd be looking at late May into June. And then the Manic option would be $44,288, and that's looking at late June / to July. I guess I recommend going with the low quote because my shop foreman, my road foreman both feel that was a better option. And on top of that, we'd have it in time for starting to haul some spot rock. We've got the semi. If we don't have the trailer, semi is not really worth anything. So I guess I'm suggesting that we go with that. That way we get the trailer. You know, I'm not guaranteeing we'll have an early spring, but if the weather that we've been having lately, it probably is gonna be in that late March, April that we're wanting to haul some rock.
Part of your equipment budget, I believe.
This would be our last purchase of new equipment out of this fiscal year, which we wanted to get done.
Hopefully close estimates.
Yeah,
Is there a motion to approve the belly dump for $43,000?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Steve, second by Isaac to approve the tandem axle belly dump trailer in the amount of $43,000 for secondary roads. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, anybody opposed? Motion is carried. Department update.
last week, the blades were out pretty much all week. All guys, unless they were helping in individual brushing operations, but they were pulling in rock, filling in ruts, trying to get some of those rutting filled in before we get an excessive amount of rain or anything like that. They didn't dig into the hard pan or anything. It was mostly just pulling in the loose stuff. Extensive brushing, several locations, big project on 170th west of Ivanhoe. For the most part, everything's cut down, but it's just such a volume of trees that a lot of brush to pile up and get burnt. Number 42 blade route in Fredericksburg area, and then Asherton and 160th, some brushing, but we also had one of the trees was leaning on one of the bridges. Did some cold patching in the V18 and Alta Vista area. That is completed until we need more of it. Random locations countywide down to the trailer. Shop was general repair and set up a new equipment. Sign truck, we're waiting on a few things for that, but they're working on the catwalk and everything. Chevy 1500 and then the used Kenworth that we bought. We did approve a quote with Mick Gage for a new heater in the Alta Vista shop. That was $3,628, 150,000 BTU. Next low quote was Gertz, for $4,287, and that was 100,000 BTU heater, so, higher output, lower costs. A lot of design development work, several different structures, mostly just getting through plan stuff. We did hold a pre-con for Bridge 2000, which would be a Perrin 120 project. That was held on 2/11. Currently, Taylor plans to start actual bridge demo around mid-May. That could vary. Contractors, that you never know if that's gonna be true or not. But they do have to get in there and cut the trees down prior to the 31st with the migratory bird, bad habitat stuff. So they will get that done prior to March 31st deadline. Working with the engineer's office building, I don't think it's really a pre-con tomorrow, but I know that Mick Gage has a value engineering proposal, which I would assume is something with the water line. Hopefully saves the county money, I would assume it will. We did have a BMC started crushing at Love Quarry, so we were there sampling and testing. That'll be ongoing as they produce. I'm sure brewing's gonna start up too. The week prior, we did have 2 days of winter operations, which would have been Monday and Tuesday. 2-2 and 2-3. We had one ways out, basically 5:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Monday and 2 p.m. that Tuesday. Rest of the week was more brushing. Sign crew did, kudos to them. They submitted our Iowa DOT sign replacement program application and we received it. So that'll be $9,179.94 reimbursed to the county for certain regulatory signs. Or the same in the office. Renee and myself, primarily her, she did a good job of getting Heartland's exposure and renewal questionnaire. Got that submitted to the auditor. We did get our builder's risk insurance doc submitted to Heartland. That was $1,523 is the coverage cost. And of course, that'll come out of secondary roads budget. And then budget amendment request, which Sheila mentioned, deducting the $110,000 due to the RSB 100% rule that we found out last year, but we had already budgeted for the current fiscal year. So I figured with you guys in budget work session, it would assist to have that just be wiped clean so you're not wondering what it's for or anything like that.
Did you use the both flood revenues that we gave you out of local?
Not all of it yet. I think by the time we awarded it, we'd already paid. So we're waiting for our next rock bill.
Okay. Just want to make sure those are spended out. So.
Yep. Me and Renee, I noticed that a couple weeks ago and she straightened it out as far as what my understanding was, so.
Sounds good. So if you could send that low bid number to Jason and Travis.
Yep.
So then they can start working on their cost.
I guess, yeah, is that for another meeting to determine?
Correct.
Like, I'm not gonna advise our bond amount being that exact.
No.
I would say 10% over, like you
Because
said,
you're
you can
gonna have
always
some-
pay that principal off right away.
So we did change the urban renewal plan to do 3 million, which now we probably didn't have to change it. But
Well, it was 2 million, right?
it was 2 million.
So, yeah,
So
just
James,
because we have tonnage items,
that could change.
yep, those are paid by quantity, they're not planned quantity, so, we estimate X amount of asphalt binder, and they go 5% over, you pay it. I mean, we're out there doing yield checks, but you're also dealing with, we didn't do a profile mill, so there might be a little loss in there, shoulder rock, that's never a guarantee either.
So anyway, that's the number we're waiting for Jason Travis to get us some firm numbers of not to exceed the 3 million, but it could be borrowing 2.1, 2.2.
But that's not for today to decide? Okay.
No, because you gotta get these numbers to the attorney and they gotta figure out all that stuff yet.
Yeah.
So the next step is the pre-levy tax resolution. And then trying to find a bank to bid on.
Well, if you figure 5%, you're 2.1 million, 10%, 2.2.
Correct.
Just to give you guys an indicator.
So a lot lower than you expected, a lot lower than.
I had
Good to
hopes,
see.
but that it was gonna be lower, but you never know, so.
Any more questions for the engineer? You want these, Norman?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll be
Thank you,
probably emailing you to get some specifics from my minutes, okay?
Thank you.
Is Dave out there or?
He just went downstairs.
No, he did. Please. Just text Dave Gorman and see if he can come back. Maybe Matt can come back. Dave's coming. Next thing is custodian Dave Gorman. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning.
Discuss and approve lawnmower quotes for county grounds.
Yeah, just to bring everyone on board up to date here, the lawn tractor that we have over at the sheriff's office is about 16 years old now. And it's getting to the point where we're probably gonna have to update it or it's gonna nickel and dime us quite a bit.
You do have a newer one that we got, the 4x4 one,
Yes.
3 years old.
Yeah, it's about 4, maybe 5.
4 or 5.
Yeah. The thing that, again, years back, we used to get by with one lawn tractor, but that was before we had the ambulance shed and things like that. And thankfully, 2 of the guys at the ambulance shed are very, very good about, taking care of the area they have down there. That's why I keep that one down at the ambulance shed. So as far as snow removal goes, it's almost essential that we have 2 tractors anymore to get everything done in a timely manner, so.
So you did get local bids from 3 vendors. The John Deere bids, one's a 4x4 all-wheel drive, and the other one's a 2-wheel drive.
Mhm.
I did visit with you in the last couple of days, weeks about, do you really need a second all-wheel drive? I guess, what's your opinion on that?
My opinion is the one that we have in the sheriff's office right now is a 2-wheel drive, and it works perfectly fine. So, when it comes to snow removal, the only disadvantage is I have to have chains on that, which is not a big deal. I've been doing that for years, so. Or if you have the all-wheel drive, yeah, you don't need chains anymore, but then again, you're talking more money, and I don't think it's essential that we have an all-wheel drive for a second tractor.
Is the all-wheel drive a diesel?
No.
They're both gas?
Well, no, actually, the John Deere all-wheel drive is a diesel, yes. I don't, no, maybe we'd have to look at the spec sheet there. I'm a little confused on them because like the Ziegler one and the Mitco one, those are all-wheel drive, both of those. And I believe they're both diesel.
Your current 4x all-wheel drive is diesel?
Yes, the one that we have at the ambulance shed is a diesel, yes, and that's all-wheel drive. The 2-wheel drive at the sheriff's office is a gas. Which the bid for the 2-wheel drive John Deere would be gas also.
So the difference I see is $1,500 between the 2-wheel drive and the all-wheel drive?
Yes, correct. Yep.
So the all-wheel is $26,100, 2-wheel is $24,600 with trade on both of them.
Now the Ziegler tractor and the Mitco tractor, those both come standard with a loader bucket, where the John Deere does not. But both of these all three of the bids include, cab, lawnmower, and snow blower.
Would you have a use for a loader?
On occasion, but it wouldn't be probably used a lot. But those two tractors, the way I understand, come standard with the loader bucket.
About the same horsepower, same,
Yeah, basically all the vendors, I told them all to bid as close to that 720 that we have for trade-in as they could get, and this is what they came up with.
any other comments, concerns? What's the availability on all four of these? As soon as you can get them, or?
Yeah, I believe the Mitchell and the Ziegler would be maybe a couple weeks to a month out. Where the John Deere one, I believe that one's readily available.
You do more than just lawn care, you do a lot of snow pushing with both of them.
Correct, yeah. When it comes to having two tractors, the snow removal is the factor that makes it much more efficient to have two tractors than one. Now, it's been good a couple of times this year where the 720 has broke down and I've had it in the shop. And then I used the diesel from the ambulance shed as a backup, which saved us, otherwise we would have had nothing, so. And then also the lawn tractor that Deb has out at the Heritage, that's a good unit, but it's got some age on it. And if that one would break, we need a backup for there too, so.
Yeah, I'm not denying that we need two around. And the law office is also under your control to mow, so.
Right, so in the summertime, I keep the diesel down there at the law office.
Yep. So I guess I see the need, unless we're gonna ask for bids to do some of the lawn care for us or the snow removal like we have with the law office, but what's your guys' feeling on either A, doing the budget amendment or denying this purchase altogether too? 16 years old it's hard to find parts, because I believe you had a bearing go out and it took 3
It was down for a couple of weeks. Yeah. And you know, with 16-year-old tractor, it's mowed all the grass and blowed all the snow for 16 years. You can about imagine it's getting worn out.
Do you found there's any more maintenance on a 4-wheel drive rather than 2-wheel drive?
There is. I mean, not the one that we have because it's new enough, but in talking to the vendors, yeah, obviously the all-wheel drive does have more wear parts, but I don't think it's drastic either, though.
I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot of price difference, and
No,
to me, I'd rather have that than throw chains.
Uh-huh.
it's more.
Yeah, I can see the marks on the sidewalk where you run a change too, so it's gotta do some extra wear on it. Concrete.
Right, yeah, you do get some concrete where you can see the marks from spinning and whatever, so.
Do you, since you're the department head, do you prefer one over the other?
I really don't. I'm just happy to have decent, reliable equipment, so whatever you guys decide, I'm perfectly fine with.
$26,100? Is that a motion by anybody, or is there something else you guys want?
26,100. Yep.
So they all will drive?
Second.
Motion by Travis, second by Steve to approve the Bonus-Steiner's quote in $26,100 for the all-wheel drive lawnmower garden tractor with mower deck and snow blower. Anything else I'm missing? Oh, with the cab too. The cab is 11,000.
Yeah, correct.
So again, he has enough in his budget for this purchase. I calculated, Sheila, what 200,000 coming back, 251. Some of it was in GB, some of it in GS. I think we can go ahead and do this, not even doing the budget amendment. The budget amendment is more cleaning up the line items as,
Putting the bond on.
and, well, yes, but for the lawnmower, the 30,000.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying we have to wait for the budget amendment because he has enough money in his budget. The reason we would do the budget amendment is to clean it up.
Yep, okay. So is that,
So this motion is just for the one more at wellness centers. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, anybody opposed? Motion carried. Department update, anything left?
No, nothing new
Chuck
from,
been here yet?
no, Chuck has not been here. I have not been contacted by him. I was thinking maybe he would come yesterday, but I didn't hear from him, so. But I'll keep you updated to what the schedule
It'd
is.
be nice to get
on
a couple day notice, just so we can let county staff know to have a hard shutdown of electronics,
Mhm.
especially Denny Young's too,
Mhm.
in case some of that stuff does feed electronic items.
that. Right.
Um,
I'll give him a call after I get done here, make sure that he knows what the schedule
There's
is.
not another holiday until Good Friday, so
Right.
it's gonna be on nights
It's
and
gonna have to be
weekends.
a Saturday.
He did mention to me a couple of weeks ago about maybe doing some nights, but
And that's fine
that's up
too.
to him.
I can accommodate either way, so.
All right, anything else for Dave? If not, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Now moving down to Treasurer Matt Eisbrand. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning.
You did call me yesterday about some names, so the first one is discuss and approve authorizing Matt Eisbrand, Amy Roder, Patrick McCumble, Chad Humble to the new bank account for conservation that will accept credit cards. Are those names all correct?
Those names are correct.
Okay. And this reason is because he's accepting credit card payments at
For
the
camping.
on-site camping.
Yep, so he can do credit and debit cards, and the vendor he's working with, strongly suggested we have a separate checking account for that, so.
And the reason you need this motion is to have minutes proven to the bank
Yep,
that these
that,
4 individuals are authorized on this checking account.
correct. Yep, they asked for meeting minutes for any name updates.
Yep. 3 people currently work in the treasurer's office, and Chad is our county conservation director. Is there a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve that authorization.
Motion by Steve, second by Isaac, to approve the authorization of said 4 people for a new bank account for the conservation department to accept credit cards. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye, anybody opposed? Motion is carried. The second one then is discuss and approve authorizing Matt Eisbrand, Amy Router, Patrick Patricia,
McCumber.
to the EMS account at First Citizens Bank.
That one was not, I wanted to add Joel,
So Joel is in Ariana?
no,
Okay,
So.
but when he works with the billing company, sometimes he needs to call and see if the checks come or not. And so then for citizens, it has to call me, for me to authorize Joel.
okay.
So it's just easier
Mhm.
to have Joel on there.
So you want those 3 plus Joel?
Yeah, on the EMS account.
Can I go back to the previous motion? Did we have to name a bank or
Don't I have First Citizens?
not in the first motion? It just says
Oh.
new bank account. Was that also at
Yeah,
First
it's at
Citizens?
first.
Yeah, we'll put First Citizens.
Are we okay with that? Just to add that bank name? So this one then is the 3 and then Joel for the EMS account at First Citizens Bank. Is there a motion to authorize? Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Travis, second by Steve to authorize 4 said names to the EMS account. It's a current account, right, Matt?
Yeah, that's already open.
Okay. At the First Citizens Bank. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion is carried. Any department update?
We've been working to kind of clean up the office, kind of improve the flow of the office, because we had a bunch of file cabinets and items that they're completely empty from getting things scanned, so we've been moving those out. I'm trying to get something set up with Benny. We have 2 state printers, that we want to move to the back of the office, kind of open up some of the path to the counter. So Benny's got to kind of talk to the state IT people on that. He may have to reroute a few of the wires and everything, but we'll get those kind of back against the back wall where we had some, like I said, file cabinets that didn't have anything in them anymore, so we can get those moved. I also talked to Riley's and Office World about getting some new office furniture. So just waiting, comparing those quotes and everything, but I'm guessing, yeah, they're gonna be in the neighborhood of like $4,000 for, that's gonna be all new desks for everybody in the whole office, and so.
And your budget will take care of those?
Yeah, I guess after hearing the comment with Dave, is that something, I mean, I have it in my budget, do you want it amended to fit under the furniture line item?
We didn't have a lawnmower in the budget at all. There's no line item. Was there?
Right.
I think you have a line item for furniture.
Yeah,
I think-
oh, okay, I got you. I just heard that, I
Yep.
didn't know.
I know me and you talked about a countertop. My opinion, board, is anything that's fixed to the courthouse, which would be countertops, desks that are screwed to the floor, screwed to the wall, are the county's responsibility. I think that's how we operated it for many years. But once it starts having wheels and legs that can move from office to office, I think that is department budgets. If you guys disagree, I know you got a quote, or you're working on 2 quotes, I think, for countertop.
I have 2 more people coming this week, but yeah, I've been working with Dave on that.
Do you guys agree that a countertop is a permanent fixture of the courthouse compared to a movable desk or chairs? So Dave will probably bring that up sometime. I don't think it'll be over 10,000, but
No, it won't be.
so.
But yeah, there's the wooden like boxes that are sitting on the counter, and those are screwed in, glued in, and the countertop itself is old and
And some of the reasons
peel away.
Yeah,
so.
some of the reason you're doing this is for sight. Some of your staff, I've been told that they can't see who's at the door, at the counter. More visual too for, I think for protection, so.
Yeah, and we have plexiglass up still from COVID, so we removed that, and then Dave was gonna remove the boxes. And then that's when we ran into the issue of if he removed them, it would completely like ruin the countertop that was existing, so.
Any other questions? How's the sign up for driving license working out?
Good, I haven't heard too much on it. Most of the people seem, if people come in, we ask them to use the kiosk down there, but if it's, yeah, somebody that's having trouble with it or having trouble doing it online, we can do it also, but I know, Floyd County, they're back up and running, so, we're seeing a lot of people from Floyd County in January, but they have their staff members training now, so.
All right, any questions for Matt? All right, thank you.
Thanks.
So we can go back to the budget amendment so we can get it sent out to the paper. I'm gonna probably take like a 5-10 minute recess after we get this approved.
Okay.
So she'll take out line, the sheriff's card, so we gotta take that off with the description.
Okay, so let's take, never mind, I just got this up.
Gives her some time to go back to her computer and take that out. What do you guys think about the lawnmower then, since we just approved 26.1? Do you guys wanna just put a line item for 26.5 or something? I would say lower the lawnmower from 30,000 down to, since you're gonna be in there anyway. Just wanna just leave it at 30,000, it's already been prepared on dome, but
No, you can,
we know. we
you can
won't
take it
spend.
down if you want to. It doesn't matter to me. Do whatever.
You guys wanna take it down or just leave it at
I think
30,000?
take it down to what it was.
26,100.
So 26,100.
Yep. Anything else on the budget amendment? We've had this open now for about 4 weeks. Nobody else has asked. To make clarification, if indeed we need the fourth one, which I hope we don't, I think we still have time if we need one, but this is mainly for B22, fixing up some revenue accounts and county conservation, and then one more for us, for the county grounds, out of 51. Remind you, once we publish this and approve it, if we approve it on March 2nd, this will affect ending fund balance out of GBGS. So the exact example, all of Chad's stuff would be coming out of GBGS. Hopefully we get the 30,000 grant money to cross each other off. But this will be a negative, I believe, impact to GB by a little bit. Probably 26,100, 50,000, 11,000, 7,000. But remember that this budget amendment also reflects the interest from, did anything change on the revenue side?
Just the amounts of revenue I took out.
Okay.
And then the 3 million that I put in.
Did you ever fix the 250 from the interest?
No, I never did anything with the interest.
Okay.
I did do it in the fund balance,
Yeah, okay. But not
or on the new fund
on the
balance.
new ending fund balances. Any more discussion about this publication notice? Like I said, Thursday in New Hampton, Friday in Nashua. Sheila will fix the sheriff's card to 0 and fix the lawnmower down to 26,100.
I didn't really know those.
What's that?
I didn't really know the motions and the motions.
Oh, yeah, I pretty much just said it all. Let me go back to the bottom of the dome document though, just so we are all on the same page.
And I took line 18 out here.
Correct.
And line 24, which is an increase to lawnmower for general services, I thought we could do that.
Okay, yeah, because you didn't put the number in.
So those are the only two things I got changing.
You guys good enough to approve them? So we'll take a recess to get to the picture. This will be set for March.
So line 24 is gonna be 26,100, and then line 18 is gonna be taken out
On the dome.
on the dome side. And then in the explanation, line 18 is gonna be taken out.
Correct. This motion is just to get it to the paper for the public hearing on March 2nd. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Travis, second by Steve, to approve publication notice of a public hearing on March 2nd at 9:10 in the boardroom. Published in Thursday's New Hampton paper and Friday's Nashville Recorder paper. Any other discussion?
This on line 8 says decreased by $507,658 for payments that the cities in the 2080 agreement do not have to pay. Should have pointed that out to the mayor earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Good point, Steve. That's a true statement. All right, if there's no other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye, anybody opposed? Motion is carried. So all we got left is budget work session and maybe committee assignment or 2, but let's give some time to Sheila.
At least give me 10.
10 minutes for sure. I'll declare a recess until 10:50.
That's all I got.
Oh, sorry.
It worked really well, except
All right. It is 10:51. We're back in session. Any more committee assignments? Well, thanks Sheila for getting that to the paper. We did get a copy of the notice of public hearing, and you did take out line 18 and decrease the administration down to 26.
And then I need to.
Yep. So, should be in the paper Thursday. Anybody, Steve, you got any committee assignment?
No, I do not.
Isaac? No. Perfect. Do you have any more, Scott? Nope.
Nope.
I did not either, so. Well, just maybe not a committee assignment, but it was published that, sorry, it was posted that 3 of us did show up last night to the Farm Bureau County hosted Farm Bureau meeting. Presented the budget of the departments and non-departments to them. Some of the highlights, I guess, one individual, I'm not gonna call him out, please. One individual asked if taxes are ever gonna go lower. We showed them that we only control about 30% of their tax bill. Maybe it'd be wise for Farm Bureau members to show up to other public hearings that levy taxes on their property. Yes, we received a check, but the treasurer gives that money out to other tax bodies. Scott went over some of the new law proposed changes, 2% growth. Anything else, Travis or Scott, that came out? Otherwise,
I think we did discuss a little bit of the lack of education and the need for education about how conference board and EMA commission and them all work, that the general public needs a little more education, and not so much the general public, but some of the people that sit on those boards.
yes. Figuring out where the money comes from is number one, I think, on any commission and board. So we're done with that. Go into budget work session. So I know there's an item on here to discuss opioid funds for fiscal 27 for the CSN software licensing from ISAC. I think David had a little bit of help with this, and Sheila. Is there a good way to use opioid funds?
And they came back, I think Isaac that said that we could use it as an expense, and they went, let's see if I think I printed it down. They even showed, like on Schedule B of the OUD, the opioid use disorder, that Section 2 support and reimburse evidence-based services that adhere to the American Society of Addiction Medicine, the continuum of care for the OUD, and any co-occurring conditions.
So would you guys like to move that line item? That was, I think, in
We put it in general basic or under general services.
Should we move that over to the opioid expense then? Are they okay with that?
Should I have a motion since it's opioid, so I can put it in the file?
Yes.
Thank you.
But it's not public hearing yet. All we're doing is moving it.
No,
From the budget
you're
work
gonna
session.
motion to authorize the, whatever, 1,700 or 1,200?
It's 2,400.
2,400 to be paid for the CSN program to be paid out of the opioid funds.
Oh.
Okay.
But was this?
2,500. This is for the next fiscal
This is for
year,
next fiscal year.
but this has gotta go in the opioid file to show that
Oh,
you guys have
oh.
discussed it, and you can you put pending your, public hearing?
This is for next fiscal year.
But it makes no difference, we're spending it out of, you just paying the bill on opioid, has nothing to do with the budget.
But she's not paying for it though until July 1st.
That's fine.
Okay,
Yeah, you pay for fiscal year 26, 27 CSN bill, $2,500 out of the opioid funds.
okay,
Yeah, you're not messing with the budget, well, you're gonna ultimately will,
yeah,
but you're not, that's not what we're doing. You're
Yeah.
just authorizing payment out of the opioid funds.
Okay, I
versus
see.
general services,
Okay.
okay,
Indirectly, it will affect it,
okay.
but not directly.
Okay. So is there a motion then to pay the fiscal year 27 CSN software licensing out of the opioid funds? So. Motion by Scott, second by Travis to authorize that opioid funds to be used for the software licensing. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, anybody opposed? Motion carried. So back up to the budgets. I don't have too much new information, just about the levy rates. We do have to make a motion we do have the next 2 weeks yet. So we have February 23rd and March 2nd yet to set the max levy.
Okay, that's 7
Any more thought of ending fund balances?
What are we gonna do? Didn't we just tell the departments to put 5 to 6% for health insurance?
Yeah, good point.
So do we wanna?
Travis, yeah, you visited with me about over the weekend or Friday. So remember, we told the department heads to put in 6%, really not a 6% because we never took out the 5% last year.
Yeah.
So it's the difference of a 5 to 6. I guess, do we need to hear from Denise first to see how much we want to put in the PSF? Or should we just leave it at 6?
Probably wouldn't. That would help our fund. We leave it at 6.
Oh, yeah. So you had a balance of
Like 1,
150.
yeah, pretty close.
So we believe the balance on partial self-fund is about 150,000. If you guys can go recall back to your presentation of when we dumped one-time money into it and
72,000.
then another 2,000 last week.
Did I get paid last week?
Oh, or does
Or
it
is
get
it
paid
what,
next
this
week? It goes this week. So remember this worksheet that Denise worked on 3 different options. Do we want to stay at the 17.21 funding, 18.27, or the 20% funding risk of all people going to the hospital the same year?
Do you want me to copy screen it later down?
You could, but this number's wrong because it doesn't
Yeah.
show the 70,000 I got put into it.
That's true.
So current rate is $94, I believe, for a single, and $216 for a family. You know, I just moved a little bit of numbers around. If you take the single up to, say, an even $100 and a family up to $225, that's gonna add a lot more money to the PSF too. And that would be close to a 3% increase, not the 6.
Keep in mind our average usage out of that fund is 132,000 a year.
It is. But what new money's going in? I think the new money going in out of every 2 weeks. I would agree with you, Travis, that 6% is probably too high. But I don't know if it's the time yet to decrease individual budgets to make up for it.
At least if she comes and talks, and we can ask all the questions, and then you guys will have more of them, you know, because she'll have the new numbers.
So I think she needs either an email from you or me to explain 3 options when she comes up.
Mm-hmm.
An option of $100 for single, $225 for family, see what that looks like. Because we know what Walmart did. We know what you guys did last Friday.
Yep.
It is not close to 6% whatsoever. So I'm wondering if the county could just see like a 3.5 or a 3% increase, which then indeed, a lot of the budgets actually will go down even compared to this year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because this year had the 5% built in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to help you out too, because each department has health insurance.
Well,
Well, we gotta make sure we do it this year.
that's what I didn't know if we wanted to get it back to the department head so they can fix it.
Oh, they'll fix it, but I'll just enter them all in, yeah. They'll do their own, yes, but then they send them to me and then I gotta,
I would just say as one department head, that's all I'll speak for myself. I would rather not go back in after reading my budget unless it's necessary. And to me, if you're already gonna have whatever percent increase in there, use a portion of that extra money to fund the PS partial self-funding, because we have an aging workforce, and that's just the fact that the reality is, we need more money. And then next year, you're in the same position you are this year, where you're already ahead of the game. You have more budgeted in there. So if the cost goes up 5% next year, we may only need an actual 3% increase in our budgets next year. That's just speaking as one department.
I think that's a good idea.
I think with health insurance too is, I've never seen, knock on wood, a department use that line item for something else. It's kind of restricted for health insurance only. It's GS.
So we can't.
So, but I think the books need to be cleaned at some point. And then this year did reset it back to a 6% total.
Yeah.
But remember the 5% was left in there last year.
So
Any other questions on the health insurance? It was a good point.
Yeah, I agree with Dave. I think, the 72,000 put in there just went in there. It kind of an emergency situation. We really haven't done a whole lot to stop the bleeding on that. So this, keeping it at 6% will help with that tremendously.
You could raise that to 105 or 110 or 115 and still be within everyone's budget they've already certified to.
Correct.
With room to spare.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know.
It'd be different if your GS was upside down.
Correct.
Thankfully, you're not in that position where you're looking to cut and you need to scrape things down and bottom of the barrel.
I think your point too, Travis, is you're trying to get closer to what the max levy should be then.
Yeah.
That's your point.
Yeah.
So can you pull up, you got the sheet up there for the big sheet, right? Yeah.
for the GS, for the rural services.
That's a levy rate we need to determine at some point. I guess, do you guys want to do the easy one? I always call the easy one the RSP. So let's go to the RSP levy rate.
Okay.
Those are pretty much fixed revenue, fixed expenditure. Do we need $1 million ending fund balance? I'm gonna say no. So what do you guys want to publish for a max levy? And we'll finalize this next week or even on March 2nd. So last week, I put in a 3.115. I'm gonna put that on your left side over here and see what that will generate.
Oh, it's a
3.115, just for discussion. That still leaves you $777,000 in the ending fund balance, or about a 30% ending fund balance. That's giving secondary roads 100%. That's giving one full payment of ambulance. And everything else, 3% for the libraries. You guys have any other input on the levy rate for RSB?
What were you gonna tell them that?
What you go 231?
About the TIF.
Yeah, everything else.
Oh, yeah, I will. So after the meeting last week, I just, I do a lot of driving around and do my other jobs. Remember what Ray told us when we started adjusting levy rates, that is what Mid-America is paying off of. So all those quotes in the past were our current levy rates of 3.5, 3.5, and 1.85. So every time we trigger that levy rate down, that multiplication factor, it will lower the TIF revenue unless our other friends, tax bodies, increase their levy rates. So example, we all went to a conference board meeting Wednesday night and that tax authority raised it 3.5 cents. So if another tax authority raises theirs, it might offset our decreases on TIF dollars collected. Just to be transparent, that's how the TIF is gonna work. So if we lower RSB by, it was 3.5 down to 3.1, it's gonna lower it by 38.5 cents, less than their valuations. Now, if we lower GB, we all know that went down 11 cents already. And then we lowered GS down more. I just don't want to hurt us in the back with the TIF projects. But I'm not here either to leave levy rates high either, just for that reason.
Right.
But I just wanted to share with you, that's how that TIF dollar is gonna work if we trigger back. But with our friends helping us on the other end, not really, as a personal property owner. Just to let you guys know, that's how that works. It's based off of levy rates. So what is a comfortable publication notice max levy for RSP? You guys wanna throw it back to 3.2? What does the 3.2 give us for an ending fund balance?
843,000.
Where do you guys wanna be at for ending fund balance? Is there other things that we can spend out of here to have certain projects, or more rock, or a direct bill from the engineer, or?
What's the 8,000 for the sheriff? I thought we took everything out of ours.
So he's giving that back, that's a
Gotcha.
give back.
That's a-
Current year.
Guesstimate.
Yo,
Well, the more we lower it, you know, the new law passes, it's gonna limit us more the next year too.
that is true.
And I hate to put extra in this year just because of that, but I think everybody's in the same boat.
But you know, things we hear at the meetings that we go to, or Farm Bureau, for example, or other people. There is people out there struggling to pay their property bill. There is, I guess, are we here to keep raising tax asking to keep government in the way it is? Or should we take a responsibility and lower tax asking?
I mean, I guess if we can't come up with a reason to make, to spend the money at 3.2, then I don't think it should be at 3.2. I mean, I guess that's where I would be.
Because that would be probably a 31, did you get your percent, if you could, from total expenditures to ending fund balance? I don't know if you have that up there or not.
So we have total.
2.587,
So we got,
that's right there too.
that's a 32%, 33.
I was figuring about 33.
And that was just decreasing by,
1.9806.
you wanna be some more special, Travis, or? I guess,
I would rather, personally, I'd rather be like that 25, 30. I don't wanna be over 30, I don't think.
What is 3.0?
probably 26. 26 and a half.
I would have as close as 25 as you're gonna get.
No, 3.05.
Not that high.
Oh my gosh, sorry.
That's 91.
I was wondering why my number went nuts up down here. I was looking at it, like,
28%.
So what's your actual fiscal year budget deficit then with that budget?
So taxes coming in.
the taxes coming in and the expenditures going out, we have a difference of 220,000.
Which is what percent of what you're bringing in? How much you bring in?
If I bring in,
2.3.
So about 10% deficit
right.
Or, yeah,
Yeah.
using ending fund balance to
Mhm.
cover the
to
budget.
cover a 10% budget deficit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I think the major reason is that is higher, is because I think and I've talked about this many times, that we've became more efficient. We've asked those other tax bodies or like secondary roads to pay their liability insurance, to pay their property insurance. And a big thing is the sheriff is no longer in RSP and the ambulance is not requesting 4 or 2 full payments.
Right.
I think we set that pretty early enough for cities and county to say, we will lower the 750 down to a more 500,000. We've had that discussion more than once. But we still are gonna budget for 1 full payment. That's why I think the ending fund balance was so large today, is because we didn't have to make those payments.
Yeah, I was gonna comment as a department head, not as attorney, but again, I think you're in a good position, but my only concern is maybe I'm front running this because eventually it's gonna get to GB and GS, which controls my budget, my department's budget. This is a good example. If you use your ending fund balance, which I agree is too high, and I agree taxes can be lower, to cover that, what happens if we sit here a year from now? And that $2.3 million goes to 2.6 because it went up 5%. And now you don't have the large ending fund balance to cover a 10% budget deficit. What are you gonna use to cover that budget deficit?
You're not. You're gonna be cutting rock. You're gonna be cutting stuff that comes out of RSP. Yep. I can't find one person out there yet that's excited about paying property tax.
No, I'm not arguing that. You're kind of in a catch-22 because I 100% agree with you. You have extra money that you don't need.
Right.
Extra, just a bad way of putting
It
it.
is.
You have reserve funds that you don't need, but you run the risk of funding current budgets with those reserve funds that aren't gonna be there forever.
Correct.
And then you're gonna have to make structural changes.
Yeah, so if you don't buy down the ending fund balance with
Well,
reserves,
like, good possibility it's gonna come either way. If that 10% ending fund balance gets passed,
You gotta know how people pay bills with that.
I don't
know if there's any way
either,
to
but I
do
mean,
that.
it could be good.
so currently on the screen is 3.05 levy rate on RSP. Just for me, go back to 3.1 and even 3.1. That'll give us a little bit over, almost right at 30%.
What is it, your in fund balance covering the deficit?
At the ending fund
Go back
balance,
to the other number.
okay, I have 181,000 in deficit yet, so about 7.5%.
About 20,000.
So that's 29 something.
Yeah. So
I guess I'm all right with it as long as it's shade under 30. I think it's good. It's over 30. It kind of bad.
Is it okay to publish it this way?
yeah, I'm good with that.
Final discussion next week?
Yeah, I'm good with that number.
Okay,
And that's the way, so if I had my numbers right last night, the evaluations grew almost 9%, 8.84, which is almost $100 million in evaluation.
113 million.
113, yes, we did the math. $113 million in evaluation this county grew. Great. I was happy to see it over $1 billion. But that's why the taxes are coming in so much higher, is because of evaluation growth.
What percent was that, do you know, evaluation going up?
8.84. No,
8.8.
it's RSP. I think about 9%.
It's like 8.9 or something, it's right close to 9%.
And last year, what was your RSP levy, 3.5? 3.52?
What's that?
Last year's RSP, or the current year's RSP?
3.5. They're both 3.5.
I feel a lot better if that increase in valuation was new construction, but it's not. So it just tells me everybody's taxes are going up.
If tax bodies keep their levy rates the same or higher, they will be going up. Are we okay with RSP until next week to finalize that levy rate? If we are, we can move to GBGS.
Yeah.
So GBGS, you took out that little bit, we just moved to opioid funds, which is not GBGS. Otherwise, I don't think there was many change from last week. But remind you though, the budget amendment will take a little bit out of general basic. $60,000, $70,000. But remember, that's a prediction of what is gonna be given back. And I think we predict on the low side. So go down to levy rates for GBGS. GB is locked in at 3.39.
I don't have these figured, I need to go to the thing, the website.
No, go back to the main page.
Okay.
Don't you have a spot? Or do you have to use Dome?
I have these down,
I haven't started.
we got, is that all right?
Yeah, go ahead. It just shows the max dollars. Yeah. So current levy rate on GS, current year, is 1.85. Last week we had numbers of 1.5, 1.4. Again, same arguments that Dave brings up, I get it. But the bottom line is where, if there's not another, say, $500,000 project that we can throw at, is there anything we need to do for the sheriff's office for the heating issue? Do we put another $50,000 to fix ventilation over there? Are we gonna demo the north wing of the Heritage? I think there's projects out there. Or do we want to lower GS?
So right now, we have an ending fund balance in GB of $1.9 million. So $1,936,222. In GS, we have $1,255,095. So if we go to our spreadsheet here, and I just put in the original, levies that we had, because just last week we were kind of playing with it. So remember in GB that we're transferring $1,500,000 to capital projects. So we're gonna take that out of there. So then with the levy rates we have right now, we have, $1,936,222 in GB for the ending fund balance. GS, we got $1,255,095. And if we're looking at a 25% ending fund balance, then the GB should be $1,471,000. And I hate this number for GS, it says 538, but I gotta spend $1 million the first 3 months. So it's either as a transfer or something,
So could you do a combination of GBGS with the ending fund balance would be with the current levy rates?
I think I did that right here, let's see, yep. And I did this.
So it's 40%.
So what I did is I took the total expenditures, I left the
1.5 one-time money.
Yeah, but I can put that in there too, and just, because I'd probably get more of a picture too, because let's see. So I did those two, and then the expenditures I should probably do. If you add the transfer to it.
Gotcha.
So then it's at 33%.
Yeah.
So if I add these two numbers, GB, GS together, and then this number again has that transfer in it, And then I bring it over here, and this is the money we're gonna bring in. If you look at, oh shoot, no, I'm sorry, that's the total of my two ending fund balances.
Yeah.
So that is 33% ending fund balance between the two.
Kind of a budget work session comment. Dave and myself have been working on a vendor to show us some window project ideas. They're coming up on March 2nd from Cedar Rapids. To start the process of an estimated cost. And then so they can help us with a spec sheet to go out for bids. Project will start July 1st. If it falls under the money we have. So again, where do you want to be at? Is there other projects? What if you put 2 million in the transfer line item?
So if I increase it 500,000, then our ending fund balance would be at 32%.
Again,
Sure, and the fund balance really should only be off that $8 million number, not the bigger number, because that's a.
Well, that's what I said. I had it in there the first week, because we're just transferring money.
It should only be off the ongoing expenses, to me, not your one-time. expenses.
no, I get that.
So that actually makes it higher than the fund balance, if you're going off of the
Right.
actual ongoing expenditure.
So if I do that, then we're at a 40%.
Yeah.
40% of those, 3.2 million, yeah.
Correct. So the only room then is to lower GS. If we don't want a 40% ending fund balance, it's too high. So then,
So doing that, how do you get it out? Where was that 1.5 or 1.4?
yeah, so go back to GS with only 1 point. So right now GS is collecting 1.99. So if you move that number to 1.5 mil, should it connect
Okay.
1.5 million in GS? Gives you a levy rate of 1.39.
And then if I just gotta say this.
Yeah. And then she has to match up the ending fund balance, I believe, on GS, back to her worksheet.
And let's go here. Oops, 910, yeah.
So yeah, 762.
Okay, so this is where it would be at. We take a step up. It didn't go, not very well.
It's there. So now we're down to a 24%.
Now it's at
No.
24%, yep, you're right.
So that does lower the levy rate.
To 2 million, so.
What?
No, the 2 million still there. She did not add that number.
No, this number here just has if you look at the number above and then this.
Okay.
So. So the question is again, what is the levy rate max for general supplemental?
I think that's a good level.
1.39, 1.4. That is 45 cents less, but like Steve said, most likely everybody's valuation went up.
You did good on RSP. I mean, just take a $200,000 house, just as an example.
Yep.
That's probably median. That 3.50 from last year, they're paying $700 in taxes.
Correct.
Now take their valuation went up 9%, so now it's 218,000.
Yep.
And then take that times 0.0305, and you're gonna come up with a lesser number. 600 something like that, 670 maybe?
3 point what, levy rate?
If it grew, if 200,000 grew by 9%, so the
Yeah.
valuation now is 218.
I got that times.
0.0305 is what you did for G or RSP.
No, it'd be 3-1.
3-1.
Oh, 3.1 you did?
Mhm.
So it's gonna be a little higher, it's gonna be about 675, 680.
675.
So they were paying 700 last year, they got a 9% increase in valuation, they're still gonna be paying less this year.
Correct.
So even
That's
if
just on
valuations
RSP.
went up 9%, what they're net paying is still gonna be down,
Correct.
which is a good thing.
For the county taxes.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah,
I agree
just
with
for
that.
our, not anybody else's.
That's gonna be the only one, I'm guessing.
And then they have to pay more, they still blame us.
We brought that up last night too. Just because you write the check to Chickasaw County, this should not be the only public hearing you attend.
What I'm saying is, I think you're doing a good job of lowering the levies sufficient to cover the growth in valuation. So that, you know, I tell a story, my parents lived in Chickasaw County and supervisors there were notorious for saying, well, we never raised the levy rate. Well, yeah, the valuations went up dramatically every 2 years, so your taxes still, your net result was higher taxes.
Mhm.
Good for you, pat yourself in the back, you're gonna raise the levy rate, but we're paying more every year.
That's right.
So I would think, yeah, something that's commensurate to do the same thing with GS that you did with RSP, where it lowers the net bill for somebody from the county's portion.
Yep, because GB went up 6.28 tax asking increase because of the valuation growth. GB is an automatically 6.27 tax asking increase. So if we can trigger back GS from 185 down to $1.40, then there is a net savings in tax asking.
Should try to get it. Easy to calculate.
And so you have to go like 1.5,
That's it.
1.52.
Okay.
Try that, that's too high.
So I gotta go back,
So
or,
we have 1,502,05, it's just peanuts,
I know.
139,441.
Well, how about if I try for 1.4
So go up to.
or
maybe
go
like-
1.39, either one.
Yeah.
I just want.
It's hard to find though.
I'll find it.
I bet you will.
If you guys are okay with it, all I have to do is calculate.
Yeah,
Hey, but you know, I was just thinking about what you said about Jeff.
yes.
Now think about it, their valuations, everything else went into.
No, race,
Because there's-
those are fixed.
Oh, those are fixed, okay.
He said this year might need a little bit, but the next 20 years will be fixed numbers.
Hmm.
So just keep in mind. It's based off the total levy rate of parcel. You guys wanna leave it at 1.4-ish and see how that works for max? You wanna go to 1.5? You have another project in mind?
Well, at 1.4, still don't include the 2 million that we're transferring,
Mm-mm.
so.
Yeah,
So go back, you got the percent there again with the new 1.4-ish levy rate,
Kind of like 1.3 now.
1.39,
you like 1.39?
so go
Okay.
back to 1.5 million. That's close to 1.3.
Oh, I see, yep. Okay. That's where we had it before, so everything else stops,
Yeah.
right? Okay. Do you wanna go back and see any of the?
It's the 32% in fund balance, right?
Mhm.
Do you wanna leave it on there and see some more feedback from people out in the public? So with those numbers, I believe we then, the county as a whole, if you take GB, cemetery, GS, debt, and RSB, so if you live out in a rural part, we are asking 2% less in tax asking.
Okay, so
Or a
it's,
new levy rate of 8.62 compared to a 9.331 last year.
oh, you know what? It's gonna be less. Cause I don't have, we did rural services. Look at, I still have the 3 point in here. So let me get the rural services and I'll tell you what the
Should be
number is.
closer to 8.33.
What? That's gonna be nice and small.
That should be about $1 per thousand.
Let's see, right here. Right here. Let's see if it goes in reverse. Did.
So now your total levy rate for those 5 areas that we control levy rates on, a total of 8.32. So $1 per thousand. Keep in mind, evaluation went up close to 9%. We're lowering the multiplication factor from a 9.33 countywide to an 8.32 countywide. Still bringing in 7.8 million though in tax asking.
7,
Yeah, right there.
8, 6, 8, 7, 8, 8.
What's the proposed, you don't know this answer, Sheila, what's the proposed budget increase in GBHS?
So what it, increased from last year?
And I really exclude that 1.5 million. That's a one-time expense in my opinion.
So, yeah, okay.
You'd have to take that 7.9 right
I'm
there.
gonna go right here and take this one out. And our increases,
Total's right there, right?
yeah, it's kind of
7.9.
like a 1%.
1% increase.
If these all, because we have 7, decreases in here. So the total increase
So your
is,
total budget was 7.9, right?
Mhm.
7.95, and your total on the left is,
so if I go like this and
There you go.
this.
Yep.
Let's see if it's this, well,
the same number, 87, 130, 193.
so it's 1%.
1% increase in expenditures.
So it increased, excluding the $2 million, it increased $87,193 in GBS, GS and GB.
And what your RSP go up? Because you moved a couple $100,000 from the sheriff over to RSP, right?
Yeah. I wasn't that good with them.
You don't have last.
So
I don't need to know.
I have last year's right here, let's see.
I need a total first.
Okay, let's total that. And so we went down.
It went up more than 1.1, I guess.
Equals,
Maybe not.
It went down 108,000.
so I'm gonna use last year's. for
Because
this.
you moved the sheriff out of there.
Yeah, so it went down about 4%.
And a lot less ambulance bills. So yeah, it went down 4%.
Budget.
The budget amount, yes, this is
Not
all
actual
budgeted,
expenditures.
not actual.
The big increase is almost 200,000 to secondary road fund. Because of the higher evaluation growth. But it still went down 4%. You guys happy with that? Final discussion next week or March 2nd? Just gotta get to Sheila by the 5th. Sooner could be better.
So everybody, we're gonna do, well, general basic is a given,
3.39806.
and then we're gonna do general, everybody's okay with general supplemental at the end?
1.39256. The debt service is already calculated from the loan we had.
Yeah,
That's the radio project.
yeah, and then we got, and I got his number in here, don't
Which one? RSB,
No,
3.1.
no. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Don't I have, management here, I need to put that in. Was that 6, what was that?
65,
765, whoops. I thought I put that in once.
172.
172?
yes.
That doesn't change it.
It doesn't change levy rate now, it just comes out of.
But I just want to say it's gone. So then, our asking levy rate will be 8.32276.
The rates we control.
I'm just gonna ask this if I can get the general services down to like 1.39 and get rid of that 256. Is that all right with everybody?
It doesn't really matter, Sheila, because GB is at a weird number.
I know, but it kind of helps in the figuring for people.
It can, I don't care. So
If
to
you
that,
don't want me to,
no,
that's fine.
you can. Do we want to get closer to a 1 point, would you say
To 1.39.
39?
Get rid of that 256.
Yeah.
Okay,
The last
thank you.
three numbers.
It's just that you gotta carry
I
it
get it.
everywhere.
That's why I like ours, we got 3.1.
Yeah, it's nice and
No, I know.
easy.
Because those, what is it, 100ths of a cent?
Yeah.
Really doesn't.
So,
Because I think Dave's is the only budget that has all even numbers.
I drew it that way on purpose.
so this is the consensus of the board.
As of today, we are not taking an official vote until I think next week, though.
Well, that's fine.
Fair enough. See what the people say.
Hopefully the other tax bodies are listening.
I think we hit that hard last night, and there's probably 10 people there, all over the county, so. Otherwise, our department head meeting is scheduled for March 9th. Those are the 4 highlighted areas on the calendar. I don't think we need one before then. I think if we could publish the tax max, give it to Sheila on the 5th, we're talking about the 9th at that department head meeting. Just to throw out a date, March 20th or after, we can have our first hearing all by itself. I know me and Scott have talked, this is why I'm asking now, the full board. Do you want an afternoon? Do you want at noon? Do you want the 24th at noon, the 25th at noon? Do you want a night meeting?
I feel like when people find out the tax might be going down until they even show up. They show up when it goes up.
I know that, Steve.
It's going to go down.
So I'm just asking, do you want it for like at noon on the 23rd then? Or do you want a night meeting? Just so we can prepare
Yeah,
documents.
so it has to be on the
So
mail.
do it
So,
on the 23rd, we're gonna be here,
We are gonna be here the 23rd.
so rather than scheduling another day for 15
Do we
minutes.
wanna do one at 8:30? And then the regular one at 9?
Yeah, I'd be for that.
That'll work?
so March,
Tentatively.
so are we thinking about the public hearing being at 8:30 or 9?
I think the public hearing for the max levy, right?
There.
Because then we can actually set the hearing at the 23rd regular meeting
Yeah.
for April,
For the budget? Yeah.
for the budget.
Mhm.
So yeah, let's do it that way.
This would be a separate meeting, can it be on the same day?
Yes.
Regular meeting, it can be on the same day still?
Yeah, but it can't be
It can
during
be
the
part of the regular meeting, I
No.
understand how it can be on the same day.
Can be on the same day. So tentatively, we could set it for the 23rd at 8:30.
So if nobody shows up, these guys gotta spend 29 minutes doing nothing.
We're busy, but
No, I mean, you can't.
no, we can't have nothing else.
Yeah.
Am I missing anything else? Yeah, all we can do is keep our ears open to the first final week this week in Des Moines and see what happens with some potential law changes. Otherwise, future agenda items, like I said, March 2nd, we have a vendor coming in to discuss windows. Do you guys want me or anybody else to work on some concrete proposals for July 1st, or you guys want to see Denny again?
I want to see Denny on the sheriff's department, but I was over there, that's pretty bad. I mean, it's any idea to get that cleaned up.
I think he's waiting on the power to get down here. I think he has some equipment already purchased, it's in the machine room. Doesn't want to install it though until he has a good ISO ground.
Gotcha, okay.
So I think once that gets going, then I think we can talk about moving some stuff around,
Okay, great.
if you know what I mean.
Yep, good.
Because I know the contractor's been here getting fiber to everybody's offices, so we can potentially eliminate some of the Cat 5 stuff and go to fiber. Okay, so work in progress on all
We were
that.
talking about March 9th, doing something,
March 9th is the scheduled 12:30
Department.
department head meeting.
but weren't we gonna have a, deal in there, to recess in there? So we could,
Nope, so we moved that to the 16th now.
Oh, that's right.
I see it, ambulance RFP. March 2nd is our public hearing for the budget amendment number 3. The 9th is department head meeting. 16th is the RFP for the ambulance. Got a lot of things going on in March already.
Yeah.
Next week, I don't see much, just finalize our max levies, claims, and whatever else comes up between then. I know we're working on a 2080 with the city of New Hampton. We'll probably approve the letting of the B-22 on Monday, and then a max levy for the bond. We're working on Jason and Travis. Otherwise, is there a motion to adjourn?
so
Second.
Motion by Travis, second by Steve to adjourn at 11:43. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Motion carried.